What's up, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I want to break down what's happening with the overall market very briefly. Please note that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link. Deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. Deposit $1,000, and you're guaranteed 15. Not to mention an 8.1% APY on uninvested cash. So SPY is dumping right now. We are still looking bearish as I speak. I just want to call out that on the weekly time frame, we still have our very key support at our 20 EMA near 538. I think that SPY might be getting close down. We'll see if we bounce off this or not. But what I think is going to happen is we could dip a little bit more. We could dump a little bit more, and then we'll see if the market gets a bounce or not by next week. I would presume a bounce is looking more probable. I don't know where the bottom is yet. So we're still waiting to see how we react to 538 or very close to that area, and we'll see if we get a bounce or not going into next week or by maybe as soon as like the after hours. We'll just have to wait and see. But that's what I think is going to happen from here. We're going to be dipping a little bit more, and then there should be a bounce coming very soon, as soon as next week. We're going to be watching this 538 area on SPY at the weekly 20 EMA just to see how it reacts. NVIDIA is dipping as well. We're going to be looking at our key support around 100. And then if that does not hold, 95 is where we have previous resistance becoming support. So 95 to 100 will be the key zone for NVIDIA. We should bounce off that range somewhere. For now, we are dipping, so be mindful of that. For Tesla, we're also rejecting, but I just want to call out that when you look at this 4-hour time frame on Tesla, notice this, guys. This is very important. We haven't lost critical support. So we have this big support right here. See this yellow line? I drew it out just like this. We're still holding this. We love to bounce near that line. Sometimes it goes a little bit below it before it tries to bounce by like about 2 to 3 points. So I think that this 210 to 208 area is key for Tesla. We need to bounce off this. If we lose 208, I will become a little bit more concerned. But if we hold 210 to 208, we could try to bounce. So Tesla hasn't lost critical support yet. I'll be watching to see if that ends up being the case by today, if not by next week. As of right now, Tesla's dumping. It could dump more, but just know that that's the key support. We haven't really lost it yet. For the QQQ, we're dipping as well. But one thing that's worth mentioning is that, let me just double check this. We have a tendency of liking to react to previous resistance becoming support. So I think that right over here, you guys can see there's a very, very tough area right here. This is going to be our 448 to 445 zone. This was a chop zone in the past, and we got resistance right over here. We had support right over here, which is where we bounced from previously. This is going to be a very, very tough support for the QQQ. So there's a good chance that buyers may defend it between 445 and 448. So we may see a bounce right there. I don't know for sure, but it's always a possibility. But that's going to be a key level. We'll be watching to see if the QQQ holds this support. The weekly looks kind of weak right now. We could see a little bit more downside, but we'll see if we bounce off that previous resistance becoming support. I'm not seeing major support being held on the daily quite yet. It still looks like it could dip a little bit more, but we'll see if we get that rebound or not by next week. Don't forget we have CPI next week as well. Going back to, let me just go back here, the 4-hour time frame. We also have Aapl. Aapl rejected off its key EMAs, but we're holding 218. We haven't lost 218 yet to turn really bearish. This is our 200 EMA. We could dip closer to that before we try to rebound again, but watch and see. If 220 does not hold us, we're looking for 218. For the IWM, we lost 212. We're continuing to fall, but we're going to be looking at this support between 206 and 208 because that's where we have a very, very big chop zone, and that's where we have previous resistance. I'll see if it bounces here next week, but so far it looks a little bit more bearish. Amazon is completely range bound on the daily. We are stuck between these key EMAs. On the daily, we have our 200 EMA as key support and the 50 EMA as resistance. The yellow EMA is resistance, and then our 200 EMA, the red one, is our support. So we'll see if we hold 170 or not. That's going to be our support. We could dip a little bit towards it, and we'll see if we bounce. So give it some time. For Meta, we're dipping right now. We're looking at 500 as our support. If this fails, we could be dipping all the way down towards 488. We'll see if 500 holds. This is a critical support. We're looking kind of weak on Meta. We might lose this, but if we do dip a little bit on Meta, we'll see if we get a rebound next week. So far, we're just barely holding 500, but there is a risk of it dipping lower. Microsoft could dip lower. We'll see if 400 holds. If not, 398 is coming, and then the gap fill for 395. So watch 400. If it does not hold, there's going to be this gap fill potential for Microsoft before it tries to bounce. Google's barely at 152. If that does not hold us, we're going to be looking for 150, then 148. So far looks bearish, so we'll see if 152 holds or not, but make sure you watch these levels very carefully. With that being said, guys, I want to thank you all so much for listening. I want to make this video nice, short, sweet, and simple. The market is dumping, but we should be finding key supports very, very soon. And there should be a rebound coming either by the after hours today, if not by early next week, in my personal opinion. All right, so I'll give you guys another update in a couple of hours. Until then, thank you for listening and peace out.